Hi, my name is Jenn Rugolo, and I am the editor of 25, the quarterly publication of the Specialty Coffee Association. And today I'm going to be your host for our first session, Innovating to Meet Opportunity, supported by Pacific Barista Series. Given that I spend so much of my time thinking about the words we use and the ways in which we use them, I hope you'll indulge me for a second to step back and consider a word that plays a massive role in this morning's session. The concept of innovation is generally quite nebulous. You can find a myriad think pieces on what does it mean to innovate and why innovation is crucial for business, but it's often hard to find any clear, objective definition. Sure, innovation is about innovating, which is about introducing something new, whether it be a method, idea, process, product, or service. But how many things are truly new anymore? And that's before we even get into the subjectivity of it all. What's new for me may not be new for you. So instead, I prefer to lean on the bit of innovation's definition that focuses on the idea of bringing change to the established. In this light, even the act of breaking apart an existing structure into its component parts, only to put them back together differently, is innovative. So as we seek to dwell at the intersection of what is difficult and what is easy, as Kim said yesterday, acknowledging, of course, that many of the structures within which we currently operate are vast and deep, we can also see how many opportunities there are to innovate in ways big and small across all the facets of our industry. Yesterday, we opened with a glimpse of the future, sustainable investments, the impacts of climate change on coffee's flavor, a look at consumer drinking trends, and we learned that we are experiencing a period of accelerated change. We then followed this with a deep dive on value, another complex idea that runs through so many of the sessions at this year's event. We explored how specialty coffee's value is generated and distributed both across the value chain and within companies, and we were introduced to innovative new business models and approaches. So why weren't those talks in this session today? Well, quite honestly, they could have been. And that's just because there are really deep connections between so many of the ideas we're addressing this year, and even in the unraveling, some still remain quite tangled together. Innovation can create value, and the desire to create value often drives innovation. Round and round it goes in circles. If the pandemic accelerated trends, both good and bad, and further exposed structural inequities in the established modes of business, we have the opportunity to learn, adapt, and yes, innovate for what lies ahead. For those who found themselves with unexpected time as lockdowns came into force, there were opportunities to test new ideas and rework old ones. But as today's first speaker wrote, quote, "Innovation foils attempts to be consistent and efficient," end quote. Innovation then is about failure, the possibility of it, and embracing it. So how can we foster it within our businesses and our teams? What opportunities are there to embrace the uncertainty of the future, but to feel confident that while we may not be in control of the way our future unfolds, we are in control of how we react and respond? Keep these questions in mind throughout the next session as we learn about the value of cultivating productive uncertainty, explore the creation of shared value through new products and services, see the opportunities of our industry through fresh eyes, and dig into the shifting structures of business. This session isn't going to be a rundown of the newest, coolest products or the latest innovative techniques. Rather, I'd like you to think about it as an exercise to help you break apart the pieces of the puzzle and encourage you to find different ways to put them back together again. And don't forget, all of these talks are recorded and available to you after the event, so there's always time to stretch or grab another cup of whatever it is you're drinking as you join us today. So, let's get started. Our first speaker, Von Tan, wears many hats. He is a professor at University College London School of Management, a strategy consultant, and an author of a book called The Uncertainty Mindset: Innovation Insights from the Frontiers of Food. And today we're asking him to lean into all three of these. If we were gathering in person, I'd tell you to make sure you have a notebook at the ready. Vaughn gives us a lot of information in a short space of time, but he's providing a really useful framework for some of these nebulous concepts we've been discussing, and will continue to discuss both throughout RICO and the year ahead. But this you'll be able to come back to later as many times as you'd like, and I think you'll want to. Okay, let's go.